Welcome back, warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here again for another 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Live. Thank you guys so much for joining. And who are my usual first ones to arrive? I have Michael Rodriguez. Hello. And I also have a new member. We have Fed Up Patriot has become a new member. Welcome, Fed Up Patriot. And also, let's see, June Stanley, hello. Iron Ear, hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We got a lot to go over tonight, as usual. I have several things I want to go over with you guys. So let's go ahead and start off with a very brief word of prayer. Dear God, in Jesus' name, thank you so much for everything. You've been better to us than we could ever be to you. And we just ask for understanding, wisdom, and knowledge of what you would have us to do at a time such as this. We ask for the ability to wait and wait with joy. And Father, we know that you know what is best for this country. And we thank you so much in advance. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, so you saw the thumbnail. You know, I've got Sara McBride, which I don't know what the person's name, what they were born as, what his born name is, but Sara would get angry at me for just using that pronoun. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Sara McBride, but we're going to get into that. But first things first, we got to get into this ceasefire. All right, this temporary ceasefire. And I'm going to read this to you. And before we get into other things, and this is coming off of Twitter with Nick Sorter, Russia agrees with the temporary ceasefire in Ukraine. They agree. After Trump sent Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of State, and Witkoff to help broker it. This is the art of the deal in action, and countless lives will be saved. Putin thanked President Trump for his efforts and says he wants to speak with him first before making it final. Trump is truly the peace president. Now, I could play you this clip, but he is not speaking English. Okay, so I just read to you that they agreed to the ceasefire. And then I got to tell you what Mr. Vladimir Zelensky stated. And he made his statement after Putin agreed to the ceasefire. And again, this is a temporary ceasefire. I don't know how temporary it is. I guess that's the part they have to agree on. And it says, now this is Vladimir Zelensky. Okay, he is over Ukraine. Of course, Putin is afraid to tell President Trump directly that he wants to continue this war and keep unaliving Ukrainians. That's why in Moscow, they are surrounding the ceasefire idea with such preconditions that it either fails or gets dragged out for as long as possible. Putin does this often. He doesn't say no outright, but he drags things out and makes reasonable solutions impossible. We see this as yet another round of Russian manipulation. There was a U.S. proposal for an unconditional ceasefire in the air, at sea, and on the front lines. We in Ukraine accepted this proposal. We have heard from the American side that there is readiness to organize monitoring and verification, and this is absolutely feasible with American and European capabilities. And during the ceasefire, to prepare answers to all questions about long-term security and a real lasting peace, to put a plan to end the war on the table. Ukraine is ready, he's saying. We are not setting conditions that implicate the process, but Russia is. As we have always said, the only one stalling, the only one being unconstructive is Russia. They need this war. Putin has stolen years of peace and continues this war day by day. Now is the time to increase pressure on him. Sanctions must be applied, ones that will work. We will continue working with our American and European partners and with everyone in the world who wants peace to force Russia to end this war. Now, I just got to say something. What just came to my mind as I was reading this, he's saying he wants sanctions, America to put sanctions on Russia. But wouldn't that make Russia angrier? You know, I don't know about this Zelensky. Okay, I'm getting bad vibes off of him. I'm getting some really bad vibes. You guys tell me who you think is the one who's really dragging this war out. Tell me in the chat. But don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit all notifications, stick around to the end. So I want to share with you guys some other things that are in the news. As you know, it's always something going down. Now, I wanted to bring up this situation with this runner. I am sure you all have heard about this high school track athlete, okay, and this so-called accidental hitting with this baton. All right, so I'm going to go over a few clips. This is the latest one, and then I'll go back historically in case you guys have not heard about this before. All right, we're going to go over this right now. I'm going to play this clip for you guys. This is what's the most recent right here.
This morning, a high school track runner accused of attacking her opponent with a baton now faces assault and battery charges, but she insists it was an accident.
I'm sorry I hit her. I didn't mean to hit her. It was intentional.
It happened during a relay race at the Virginia High School League Championships. Kayleen Tucker was...
Did you guys, what's your thought on this? Okay. I'm not sure. I'm going to back this up a little bit. I want to get your thought because to me, it's not a regular running motion. You're taught how to run and she goes like this. And then I read that she went in for a second swipe, although that's not clear from this.
Kayleen Tucker was passing Alayla Everett when Everett appeared to suddenly swing her baton, hitting Tucker in the back of the head, sending her to the ground. Everett says it happened because she lost her balance.
So I'm like this in the air. I catch my balance, pump my arms. She's cutting in, so when I pump my arms, she got hit.
I just felt a bang on my head, and then I fell off the track immediately.
Tucker suffered a concussion, and the judges disqualified Everett, who says intense public scrutiny quickly followed.
Death threats, racist people, people making fake accounts to talk and harass me on my page.
Tucker's mother saying Everett did not apologize. The family blames safety concerns at the track.
She wanted my daughter to run over there in front of all these people that may jump on her because they feel like she attacked the other runner.
I don't know. This is so strange to me. There's another clip of this young runner crying her eyes out, literally, but it looked intentional on my end. I don't know what you guys are saying on your end, but to me, that looked doggone well intentional. I mean, it really, really did. I just couldn't believe it. So looking again at this, and this is another clip. So forgive me if it's a little bit repetitive.
I would never do that on purpose. That's not in my character.
Everett says the incident is a complete misunderstanding, pointing to another angle of the race as proof.
The baton was literally like her arm was literally hitting the baton like this until she got a little ahead and my arm got stuck like this.
In the video, Everett is seen on the inside track running the 4x200 relay at the Virginia State High School League Championships when junior Kayleen Tucker came around the outside on the corner.
That's when she hit me with the baton. I just felt a bang on my head, and then I fell off the track immediately.
Kayleen dropping her baton and reaching for her head. She was later diagnosed with a concussion.
And that I was trying to see what that girl was talking about, but this girl was, charged with assault, a misdemeanor charge of assault. And what do you all think? Because I'm looking at it going, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I truly, and this is the girl that got hit. She finally speaks out. I
just felt a bang on my head, and then I fell off the track immediately.
Kayleen dropping her baton and reaching for her head.
The whole Coliseum pretty much gasped. I just jumped up out of the bleachers immediately and ran to her on the main floor.
The 16-year-old was later diagnosed with a concussion. The family says neither the athlete who struck Kayleen nor the other team's coaches checked on Kayleen or reached out afterwards.
To see that they kept running and she not stop and check on my daughter, that was the part where I was like, it couldn't have been an accident.
The other runner, who attends IC Norcom High School, has not been named. Kayleen's parents say Norcom's athletic director and the girl's father apologized in a phone call, but they're still waiting for the opposing athlete and her coaches to reach out.
And now later they did reach out. The opponent, the girl that did the hitting, her name is Alayla Everett, and the girl who got hit is Kayleen Tucker. And this was at a track meet. And this was in Virginia. So I wanted to share that with you guys because these sports can get a little crazy. And there was a lip reader that actually said they could tell what the girl said who actually did the hitting, whether it was on purpose or not. basically she said, get off and hey, oh. Okay, and this was by a lip reader founder, Nicola Hickling. And this person told the Daily Mail that the runner who supposedly hit the girl said, get off and hey, oh. All right, so that's that. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Now, next thing I want to do is we got to go down these line of stories. So next, let's see what we got here. We've got some things we want to share with you guys. Oh, right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Right here, we've got Byron Donalds. Donald Trump Jr. endorses Byron Donalds for governor of Florida. He's going to endorse him. He supports him. He's going to endorse Byron Donalds for governor. Donalds for Florida. Isn't that something, you guys? I hope he gets it. Then, DeSantis was not a bad governor. But, Donald Trump had a nickname. He said the sanctimonious. But I think that's great because we like Byron Donalds. He's a straight shooter. I really like it. And I'm glad that he's going for governor of Georgia. I really like that. And I just got to say, before I get into the other stories, I'm really waiting for this stuff to come out. If something has come out with those files and I just missed it, somebody let me know, because I am really, really waiting. Okay. And I know I got to be patient with the JE files and everything, but I want to be one of the first ones to report it. I just want to be there. So make sure your notifications are working. Okay. Make sure they are working. But I am so disturbed by all the fraud. I'm tired of Elon Musk going through what he's going through. They're literally trying to destroy this man, and all the protests and all the anger. The demon rats are really manifesting their demons. Okay. They have not proven me wrong about their ability to have all these demons inside of them. They have not proven me wrong, not one time. Not one time. These people are literally absolutely crazy. Now I got to share this clip with you. This is with the this lawmaker, Sara McBride. Now, Sara McBride is really a biological man. I don't know what the real name is, what he was born as. I don't know, but I want you to listen to this. This is very, very interesting. Listen up.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Okay. Mr. McBride is a twins female and doesn't want to be called Mr., wants to be called Ms., Miss, or whatever. I'm going to play it again.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And then Sarah said, Madam Chair, to him. Okay, I'm going to just go back one more time.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America, please?
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Wow. He rather adjourn it. Oh, wow. He's like, that's a man. Mr. McBride. Oh, wow. And he struck back and said, Madam, that is crazy. Thank you so much, Fed Up Patriot, for that super chat. Thank you. It's really appreciated. And you guys, this whole thing with these pronouns, didn't Donald Trump say that, male and female, but this person wants to be recognized as a female? But I guess if he recognizes himself as a female, that's still one of the two, as long as he's not saying he's a they or a them or a ze or a she or whatever. I'm not being funny. They had a whole 100 and something different pronouns, and it was a they be, and I'm like, what? I mean, but that's what they had going on. So, and I'm going to share this other clip with Sara McBride. Sara McBride was a little aggravated with that. Sara McBride was not happy. Here is Sara McBride.
We will not take a lecture on decorum from a party that incited an insurrection. I appear to live rent-free in the minds of some of my Republican colleagues. I wish that they would spend even a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, thinking about how to lower the costs for American families. I wish they would spend a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, figuring out how to make government actually work better, rather than making it work worse in order to prove that government can't work. They are obsessed with culture war issues. The Republican Party is obsessed with culture war issues. It is weird and it is bizarre, and the American people deserve.
Wait a minute. He said weird and bizarre, but this is a man in a dress. Okay.
Serious legislators, serious elected officials who are focused on bringing people together to deliver real results for the American people, not to play games and not to engage in schoolyard taunts.
Okay, the Democrats, when they speak, they really don't actually say anything. They really use the same talking points. We want to be here for the American people. The Republicans are doing anything, and we're not going to be bullied. And that person really did not say anything substantive. Not at all. Not in my opinion. Nothing came out of their mouth that made any sense to me. Nothing. It was just bland, just superficial talk. That's all it was. Just plain superficial. That's all it was. You can't tell me that anything substantial came out of that person's mouth. It just didn't. So the next thing we've got is Auntie Maxine, great auntie. Great auntie got something to say.
What does Trump expect? Oh, what does Trump expect? Oh, I believe he expects violence. I believe he expects confrontation. I believe he's working toward a civil war. What does Trump expect?
I don't want to hear anything else from you, Maxine Waters, talking about he's headed towards a civil war. See, I put this on my account, on my X account, and really, the Democrats, when they talk, they really are telling on themselves. We already know this, right? If you've been following me and you just a conservative and you already got common sense, they really project. So the Democrats are wanting a civil war. The Democrats are doing this. The Democrats are the party of racism, and they always call for violence. And she had called for violence once before. You need to sit down with your behind. You got some age on you. You need to get Jesus. Everybody needs Jesus, whether they're young, middle-aged, or old, but she needs to really get Jesus way before she get called somewhere. It might not be home. It might be a bad place. Great auntie Maxine, you need to act right. And these people are out here really torturing people. And did you guys see? I want to show you what happened outside. It was in Trump Tower. It was in Trump Tower, and I'm going to find that clip for you. See if I can locate that. It was absolutely horrible. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it right here. This is unbelievable. See, these demons are manifesting. All right. These demons are manifesting. And I've told you guys before, this is a spiritual war between good and evil. Look, watch this right here. Watch what's
breaking news now. Protesters in New York City have found a new favorite address, and they are occupying not just the streets outside, which you can see this is a chopper shot that we cannot take control over. So we wish that this helicopter would pull out, because you'll see people at the top of the screen beyond our banners. There are many of them. Some of them have made their way into occupying the lobby at Trump Tower. This is in protest of the arrest and detainment of Mahmoud Khalil. Remember, he is a graduate student who was on the campus of Columbia University professing hate. We know that he was a very high-profile face, along with groups on that campus who are pro-Hamas on Columbia. And when ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, picked him up, the protesting began. Now, some of it has not looked like protected speech or protests. It's looked more violent than that. as people have pressed physically against NYPD officers in this city. Let's watch the video now. This is what happened inside. And can you hear them chanting? Listen carefully as we go to that. Free Mahmoud, free them all.
Free Mahmoud, free them all. Free Mahmoud, free them all. Free Mahmoud, free them all. Free Mahmoud, free them all.
They are causing people to fear. There are people who pay to live in that residence. There are businesses on that floor of the lobby. This is not a safe situation. If you are Jewish in that building, do you feel safe?
Well, whether you feel safe, don't feel safe, whatever the legal remedy is to give the State Department under Marco Rubio's leadership, who took action against Mahmoud Khalil,
at a federal level,
any of these people are not citizens. They should be deported. We have to have a new way of approaching this. The streets of New York have got to stop getting shut down on a regular basis, interfering with ambulances and fire departments and people trying to get to their jobs.
You saw that, I don't know if he was a senator or a congressperson that I showed last night, that he was taking up for this Palestinian person who was he's Syrian, born in Syria, and his name is Mahmoud Khalid. And this was a lawmaker that I showed you last night, all up in the face of law enforcement, being very confrontational because, you know, they don't respect police anyway. They want to defund the police. Democrats are the party of chaos. Defund the police, BLM, burn things. And you see what they're doing to Teslas and charging stations. They're trying to hurt Elon Musk. They need to find those people and they need to be dealt with accordingly. And all this chaos right here. And I wonder if these people are paid protesters. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
We don't have to have mayhem in our streets because these people, the face of the Democrat Party, are pro-Hamas.
Well, and this looks like, Lisa, this looks like what we saw in Columbia University last year with the tents. Those T-shirts were printed. Come on, this is not an accident that people with identical T-shirts show up at Trump Tower and then they occupy the lobby. I mean, coincidence is interesting. It's just usually not applicable.
Well, yeah, I mean, they hate Israel, obviously, in the West. But I think it's hilarious that they believe this is going to have any impact on President Trump, a guy who survived an assassination attempt and then took the stage at the Republican National Convention just days later. So this is going to have zero impact on him. He's not swayed at all. So you're wasting your time, people out in the streets. But look at who the left makes their heroes, right? This guy.
Yes.
Hamas, George Floyd, Jacob Blake, a guy who pulled a knife on a police officer. So they have some strange heroes. And then look who they won't stand up for. When you look at President Trump's speech to Congress, a 13-year-old with cancer, Laken Riley, right? So this tells you everything about their values, and they're totally misaligned with the rest of America.
She's right, because they want to stand up for someone who's pro-Hamas, George Floyd, and someone they said that pulled out knives or whatever, but they would not stand up for little DJ who is surviving cancer. They would not stand up for Laken Riley. They would not stand up for people who lost loved ones. But they would not stand up for them, but they would stand up for a pro-Hamas person who literally is against the West, who wants the West to be demolished. He is very anti-American. He has pro-Hamas sentiment. And I think he should be deported. I mean, that's just my opinion. And this is who the left wants to support. This tells you who they are. When people show you who they are, believe them.
Look, there was a representative we had on the show last week, Representative Gooden of Texas, and he was the person who ripped the sign out that said this is not normal as President Trump was walking into that joint congressional address. And he said, look, when you've had enough, you've just had enough. So America has had enough. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and President Trump have had enough. Will the Democrats ever have enough of this kind of hate?
Yeah, I watched a video of one of Mahmoud Khalil's. I mean, he has like a dozen attorneys.
It's a lot.
Appeared to be an attorney saying that the wife said, my husband was kidnapped. Okay, the American government does not kidnap people, first of all. Your husband is getting his student visa taken away. And you mentioned Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said, this is not about free speech. Nobody has a right to a student visa. Nobody has a right to a green card. And that is exactly right. You put the statute on your show, Harris, the Immigration and Nationality Act, I believe it was yesterday. If you are suspected of articulating a viewpoint or pushing forward or helping a terrorist group, there are different nuances with the exact wording, you can get your visa yanked away. And by the way, the Supreme Court is very friendly to arguments about national security as it pertains to the federal government.
Excellent point.
It is their purview.
Section 237A4C of the Immigration and Nationality Act, if you should want to look it up. I try to read it out loud every day.
And see, this is that Trump Tower. This is that Trump Tower demanding the release of Mahmoud Khalid. Okay, Mahmoud Khalid. This is in New York at Trump Tower. Wow. If they would only stand up for the rights of Americans, if they would only stand up for the rights of the unborn, if they would only stand up for the rights of women not to be assaulted or annihilated fighting a biological man, if they would only stand up for the weak among us, if they will only stand up for children not to be trafficked, if they will only stand up for the nuclear family. These people, they stand up for everything that Satan stands up for. This is an evil institution where the Democrats have always been evil. So it's, whatever something is rooted in, that's the fruit that it bears. But they've gotten substantially worse. I mean, they were talking some common sense. They were talking some common sense at some point, and they just got crazy. I mean, they just got crazy. These people have lost their minds. They are for everything that is bad. I can't think of one, and you guys help me. Maybe I'm overlooking something. Can you name me one thing that the Democrat Party is for that is good? Because I am struggling to be able to articulate that. I can't really come up with anything. These people don't take up for anything that matters to me. And I'm telling you, like I've said before, they are not ever, not that they have done in the past in any event, will ever win a legitimate election. Legitimate. They might win, but I mean legitimately win. So this is my issue with them. They don't know how to learn from their mistakes. There is no way in the world this demon-possessed institution is going to learn from its mistakes. It listens to its donors, George Soros. And Alex, guys, you are familiar with Alex Soros. Alex Soros is the son, of course, of George Soros. George is up in age, and he's got his son, Alex, mentoring him on how to do the same thing as his daddy, which is deplorable, which is anti-American, which is hateful towards God. It is disgusting what these people will get behind and promote. We are truly in the last days. We are here. We are here. And I want it to be peaceful, these next 4 years to be peaceful, but the Democrats don't want us to do well because they don't want it to be obvious that they sucked the last time. So they want to just stir up trouble and make up stuff. I want Donald Trump to get onto the media. That is what I want him to do. I want him to get onto the mainstream media, that you got to put something in place that they have to tell the truth and stop lying to people, because they're very complicit in the fact that you've got people angry at Trump and want to hurt him. And they're angry at Elon Musk because these people have been demonized. And Elon and Trump both were adored by the media. Good things were said about them. But now it's like, oh, he's horrible. He's this. You weren't saying that a few years ago until they tried to transition his child. And then he was like, whoa, wait a minute. See, that's how crazy they are. They make all the Republicans look very normal because they are just way out left, just way out in Looneyville. But as Americans, we know what we stand for. We know what we want in this country. And I am not going to let anyone tell me that I can't speak. It's freedom of speech, right? But it's not freedom of speech on the left, because if I were to say marriage is between a man and a woman, they would give me a fit if I worked in a mainstream news network. I would probably, I would get canceled. because you get shadow banned because they don't want free speech. They are communist in how they think. And they think we don't know what they're up to. We know every little bit of what y'all up to. All right. What are you guys saying in the comment section? Let me see. Let me go back to, we got to go back a long way. Let's see. Fed Up Patriot. That includes Americans who hate America too. Absolutely. Kathleen King, Fed Up Patriot. When I went out on dates, I'd wear dresses, skirts, pants were too casual. Okay. One mistake they make is to test the waters of the new FBI and the DOJ. If you mess up, you will collect it. Let's see. We have Kathleen King. I remember those days too. My mother would have a cow if any of my sisters wore pants at any time. Grew up in a very strict home. Well, I wore pants, jeans, whatever. You know, deport, deport, deport. Iron Ear says deport. Notice not one Democrat condemns this ignorance, all because they support it, but they attack Elon for saving American taxpayers' money. Oh, because they're demons. They got their hand in the cookie jar. They got their hand. You remember all that money that was put in that Citibank account? $20 billion. Stacey Abrams got her hand on $2 billion. $2 billion to maybe one of her, I don't know, organizations, or did it go directly to her? I can't remember. Probably something with her name on it. Power, what is it called? Power Forward Communities. And you know, she would take some for herself, I'm sure. I'm very, very well sure. So, yeah, I'm telling it. My husband says, tell it, y'all. That's my husband. Calvin Bentley II. Amen. Tell it, Linda B. The party of sin must not win. That's right. Absolutely. I believe that group claims to be a Jewish group. It's wild. Really? Really? I don't know. That's crazy. If they will only stand up. I know. Like that slogan, spread it far and wide. Can't think of a thing. Sweet Sunset, you can't think of a thing that the demon rats stand for that you are actually for. I know. I can't think of it either. Do you have the new problem in Denver when Elon says that we are going to have a lot of problems with the airline? They call him a joke. And I know what they're good for. Good for nothing. 2 peas in a pod. And you're saying, Fed Up Patriot, that Elon is more aware of things than most give him credit for. I think President Trump really knows him. They think a lot alike. These are businessmen, and they look at everything as a business. When you run a business, you cut out waste. You search for ways to save money. And if you see there is unnecessary waste, you cut it, you slash it. That's business. You look at the bottom line, you look at ways to save money. That's just what business people do. Midterms are coming. It almost feels like winter. All right. The time is American Airlines in Denver. In my opinion, this all has to happen to wake up those who are still in a deep sleep. Once everyone for the majority wakens, it's game over. You know how I feel about it. They're going to come up with something crazy because they really they want communism. All right, they want that. And there is a push against communism. Communism and atheism is the same. And there is a push towards God, and there's a push towards atheism. They're like against each other. It's a spiritual battle. And I've always said it is a spiritual battle for sure. And no one's backing down. The demons aren't backing down. We cannot back down. We really can't back down, warriors. We got to pray. We got to be serious about this. We got to do what we need to do as believers, as Americans. We got to stand up for what is right, and don't be ashamed for saying what we believe in. We believe in something. We say it. You know, I say what I believe. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm not going to lie to anybody either. I'm not going to go along with something that someone is like in some kind of delusional state mentally. I've seen a bumper sticker that said liberalism is a mental disorder. And then I thought about it later. I said, it really is. It really is a mental disorder. Let's see what else you all are saying. They want the destruction of America for sure. And do you guys remember that movie? It was called Leave the World Behind. The Obamas were the executive producers of that movie. And at the beginning of the movie, it had upside down crosses, upside down American flags, and guns. That is what it had at the beginning of that. And in the movie, these paper things fell out of the sky. They were orange, and you opened it up. It said "Death to America" in Arabic, is what it said. That's what it said. There is a P-link saying it is a Jewish group. Oh, it's a Jewish group. Okay. Because on Fox, they were making it seem like it's not a Jewish group. We have to not be complacent. If you give the demons an inch, they will take a mile. Oh, you know that's for sure. I will listen to you, but I am at work. I really miss your show. God bless you all. That's okay, Caleb. We understand. So we can never let them silence us. Absolutely not. No. I don't believe that for 1 second. And also, Sweet Sunset, I once saw a bumper sticker that said, "Democrats always clean up Republicans' mess." Talk about delusional. What? What you think Donald Trump is doing? He cleaning up the mess the previous administration made. In one of my videos today, I was like, you know what? Every candidate that the Democrats have put forth the past few election cycles have been not who they say they are. The Obamas, that family is a manufactured thing. Those girls, that marriage, I just believe is manufactured. I do. I don't believe that Barack Obama would have married Michelle. You know, it was only for his political aspirations. I don't believe they're in it like a regular couple. And you really don't see them together anymore. And allegedly he's dating Jennifer Aniston, and she looks very masculine in the face lately. I don't know what's going on. And also what happened with Joe Biden, they were not truthful about his mental condition. Then Kamala Harris, she pretends like she's got these chocolate black relatives saying this is my grandmother and my great-grandmother. Turns out, according to Candace Owens, that's not true. See, whenever they put forth somebody, it's somebody that they can control because they got a lot of dirt on them. And that is how they roll. They need somebody who's got some mysterious background so that they want to keep hidden, because that way they can control that person and use that person as a puppet because they don't want that to get out. So those are the kind of candidates that the demon rats put forth. So who is going to be the next Looney Tune they put forth? Who's next? Who you think they got? Who's up next? Who's on third? Who's next? Is it Jasmine Crockett? It might be her. It might be Jasmine. You know, at least she really is black, but I wouldn't vote for her if you paid me. I wouldn't vote for a demon rat anyway. I don't care what you say. I mean, every candidate that they put up for the Democrats is not legit. And you know what they said about Barack Obama's certificate, his BC. You know what they said. I'm just saying, I'm trying not to get in trouble. His BC. You know what I'm saying. That is just not, nope. And I don't think we should have people that are from other countries in the Senate or the House. They should not be lawmakers passing legislation. That's just my opinion on any level. I just don't think it's right. I mean, they wouldn't let us do that in their country. You know, they wouldn't do it. Of course they wouldn't. We should be American citizens. That's what I say. That's just my opinion, you guys. But I want to also mention something too to you all. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Just give me a second here. I have, let's see, recently partnered up with Augusta Precious Metals. And this is a way for you to roll over your retirement into gold or silver. And you can download the information for free. The link is in the description below. And thousands of Americans are buying gold and silver for their retirement savings. And how do you get started is 3 easy steps to understanding and opening a gold IRA account, the best strategies for adding gold to hedge against inflation and economic unpredictability. So this again is Augusta Precious Metals. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are highly ranked. Okay, they have a great rating, very great rating, A+. I wouldn't be getting involved in anything that's ridiculous, okay? And the link is in the description. You can download the free guide today to learn more. So I suggest you guys find out more about that. But that is Augusta Precious Metals. The link is in the description. Check it out. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining my live tonight. I really appreciate you. You guys are very special to me. Don't forget to smash like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure you select all notifications so that you never, ever miss a video that I post. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as I always say, march on, warriors. Good night, everybody.